Hey everybody, and welcome back to War number 7. The bans today, we're going up against Palo, and we've got Ghost and Torch once again, very common thread there, and then Quake as well. A Quake ban doesn't really mess up BG3 at all. We rarely ever assign Quake, and mostly just because we have such a diverse amount of rank 3s that almost every time we would rather send a rank 3 with a bigger health pool and utility for the fight and just trust our players to win the fight. However, we do have 3 pretty proficient Quake players just in case, including myself. But today we just weren't really tempted to even try to assign Quake anyway, so it really wasn't that impactful of a ban. This war is going to really showcase Moleman off, and I'm excited about that. We really get to see some of his utility kind of working together in 3 different fights of different styles. But I am going to start off the war with Archangel again. This is the exact same fight as last war that I started with. It's a decent placement because if you don't have like a nuke option, you know, it's going to take him a very long time to get to his special 1. So you basically have to choose, am I going to let high ground get out of control? Or am I going to let the strike counter furies get out of control? But when you use Archangel, he's going to be dead before anything dangerous starts to happen. So even though he has the furies, you know, our parry block damage is going to be stopping it at all. He never has more than 1 high ground charge. And yeah, even without White Magneto, without Horseman or anything, Archangel takes care of business on a lane fight like that. No issues at all. Definitely recommend Archangel for that. So this next fight is going to be the opposite because this fight, you know, Archangel obviously couldn't do. So we are going to, instead of just nuking down this iHulk, we're 100% going to be playing the node strike counter, so really keeping track of our combos to make sure that he doesn't get any furies. And the play style that I'm going with Moleman here is essentially to be spamming special 1s, which you would have to do anyway. But the benefit of the special 1s is that they contribute a lot more red damage than the special 2, because in addition to any bleeds, you're also going to get some shocks. And then I believe there's some additional red direct damage when he's shocked. So I took some blocked hits here just to build to my first bar of power. That's a trick that I learned from DLL. Because essentially if you do a 5-hit combo and a heavy, you're probably not going to get all the way up to your first special 1. So if you just take a few blocked hits, that's going to push you the rest of the way. So here, just kind of keeping track of our combos, 1 hit at a time. There's our heavy. We should be able to just do 1 more hit. Again, I take the blocked hit to build a little bit of power. A little bit of brute force damage there, but in this fight, I am much more interested in taking the brute force damage than I am allowing him to get any furies. You know, just in case he goes into his second life, we don't really want that to happen. So I did activate Frenzy a little bit ago, which means these bleeds are guaranteed now. I seem to always have power to throw that special 1. As you can see, the red direct damage is helping, and I'm looking, he's definitely not going to have 15 gamma by the time this is over. So yeah, just another great example of, you know, path 2 is not hard if you play the node and don't let the furies get out of control. Then it's a lot less nerve-wracking of a lane. So yeah, this man thing, I don't take. Props to my buddy Smio, who took him with Omega Red. Had a really clean fight there. But yeah, so Moleman's first fight, the special 1, the red direct damage, going into Frenzy for the guaranteed crits and bleeds. We got to see that aspect of Moleman. Pretty cool. Didn't need the true accuracy. So now I have taken this fight before as well. Bishop on the prowess path here. If you don't bring in a tech champ, he's just going to be basically have permanent unblockable specials. If perchance he has any prowess, War Machine's going to be able to take care of it. Additionally, with the energy resistance pre-fight, it's going to be plenty of damage mitigation so that we barely take anything off of the block if we have to block anything, or take an incinerate if he accidentally throws a special 1. It's just a real hard counter here. Like, I know there are nuke options, like I'm sure Corvus could just rip him apart, but like, if you're going for an actual counter to play against this bishop on path 6B, I really don't think there's a better choice than War Machine. I don't even like Nimrod on this fight as much as I like War Machine. So I'll narrate the strategy again. We've got the Skirmish and the Fortify. I'm going to just do short combos because I have Petrify 3 out of 3, so he builds power a little bit more slowly. And I'm throwing the special one first just to remove that single prowess. That's part of War Machine's abilities. And you don't necessarily have to do that, but since I'm probably going to take a couple blocked hits off of the special 2, it just makes it hit a little bit less hard. So here we go. We just let it tap our block and then dash out. There's no reason to risk a full dex, even though I usually can get the full dex. I'm probably fine, you know. So I just let one blocked hit, and here we push him over 2 bars of power. He's already almost dead. Those ruptures did a lot of damage. The armor break does a lot of damage if we crit. Just have to bait another special. And I would normally just throw a special 1 to kill him here, but he was almost dead anyway, and then the ruptures will just take him down. So yeah, I just think if you can fit a War Machine for that fight, either on this first or second node, it's just no issue. No issue at all. So next up, we're going to show Moleman another side of him. This is a fight that I wouldn't say it scares me, but it's a fight that I just want to end as soon as possible because we have to deal with high ground. We have to, you know, if we don't go into frenzy, then we can always purify incinerates if we make a mistake. If we accidentally block some hits, then he's going to gain prowess. So we're just going for the nuke. I parry heavy again. I took the risk knowing there was hard knock life. I activate frenzy. I just throw the special 2 with power back boosts. The guaranteed crits, the guaranteed bleeds. I just let him hit into me. One more special 2. And yeah, this is the other aspect of Moleman, which is that frenzy and power back boosts allows you to nuke. And in a fight like that, I just wanted it over. I didn't want to have to worry about baiting his special 1s, accidentally blocking them. Then he goes unblockable from the prowess. Yeah, we didn't want any of that to happen. So yeah. Not much else to say there. Now, this is a fight, Node 39, that I've taken with Elsa Bloodstone dozens of times. It's one of my favorite fights for Elsa, and I do actually believe Elsa is a better counter here than Moleman, but Elsa couldn't have done what Moleman did to that torch, so that's why Moleman is here. And a couple things actually go wrong in this fight. So the utility that we're showcasing in this fight as he throws that heavy out of nowhere is that we don't want to get into frenzy. We want to build monster mass and then use the monster mass for the free intercepts. So right here, we're going to purify this first debuff. Now I can use my block to counter him. We get the fury right there. I know I hit that in time, but my special 2 didn't connect. So that was, I can tell you, I know when it's me and when it's the bugs. That time 100% it was an input issue because, you know, I was connecting specials like that all the time in that iHulk fight, just like one hit into a special. So yeah, I don't know what happened there. But you can see we're using the monster mass to always have the ebb and flow intercept taken care of. And we're, you know, just baiting specials, trying to avoid frenzy. We get the fury once again, doing reparries because of mighty charge. Just throwing the special 2s, hoping that some of the hits crit. We still have the power back boost on. Now here, I'm going to slow this down and show you what happened here. So as you notice, we're getting the agility debuff on us, which is the one that reduces evade and dexterity, and it's on us right before it purifies. I try to dex, and it fails my dex. So yeah, when that happened, I didn't understand why I missed that dex, but it was literally the agility debuff. So like, the chances of that happening are so small because there's a really short window that Moleman is going to even have any debuffs on him before shrugging. So that was the first variable. The second variable is there's a 1 in 3 chance you get the agility, and I got the 1 in 3 chance. And then on top of that, it's only a 30% chance to fail the dex, and it did. So like the chances of that actually lining up to tank that special 2 is pretty funny. But I guess it just kind of showcases Moleman's tankiness. I just kind of laughed it off because there was still no risk of losing that fight. He completely counters it. But once again, man, I would so much rather use Elsa. But yeah, Moleman was the right call for this path, 100%. Anyway, moving on to this final mini boss. This is Guardian. In an ideal world, we would have put an Odin pre-fight on Archangel so that he could counter the shock. In another type of ideal world, we would either have House of X or Horseman just to make this fight go down quicker. You know, we had to send Horseman Archangel on some more dangerous fights on the other side. So we were just banking on the damage getting this guy down. Vega took this fight, I think, with Horseman Archangel in his last war, and he mentioned, you know, basically just that he was bleed resistant, but that the bleeds still stick. We're having a little bit of trouble landing poisons, so I actually am starting to worry a little bit. I put the regen boost on. The reason we have this shock on us is Guardian's got an ability where if you are reducing his ability accuracy, then you're going to be getting a shock on yourself. So finally the luck is turning around a little bit. We got a very, very lucky poison right before the stun the last time. I'm looking at my health bar. The only way I'm going to die is if I tank a special one. And I'm not super worried about taking some blocked hits. So that's why I'm just deciding to block a little bit. So I throw the special 3 because it gives a guaranteed neurotoxin. But I also know that there are no poisons on him currently. So what I do after the special 3 is intentional. I'm just sitting and waiting, letting it tick. Now we're going to parry so we get another poison. And I think that kind of saved the fight. Because, watch this, he tries to throw a special and then just falls over. But I think that kind of saved the fight, because if I gave him too much power and then didn't have a poison, I don't think I would have had enough damage to finish him before he got to a special 2. So yeah, I don't know. That wasn't the cleanest Archangel fight. I mean, I didn't really make any mistakes except for taking those blocked hits. But it was a little dangerous. We could have done Mr. Fantastic debuff Siphoner for the shock, but I was a little bit too impatient and just went in. I definitely would have felt bad if that went south, but I would recommend having, you know, debuff Siphoner, shock pre-fight from Odin, Horseman, just increased ability accuracy with White Magneto. Like any of those things would have made it a little safer. But even so, even with bad RNG and taking all that shock damage and some of the high ground damage, Archangel still got him down, and I ended with about 50% health. So that really just shows you how powerful Archangel is all by himself. Additionally, we saw War Machine and Moleman really showcasing their utility in this war. We ended up winning this war very handily. The score was 8-3. I've never seen a 3 death or lower performance before in SSx. I'm sure they have in the past, but in the 4 seasons that I've been here, the best that we've ever done is 4 deaths. So I was really proud of the group. Everyone really buckled down and took care of business today. And yeah, very, very good win. To the point where we do have a winning record now of 4-3, which puts us in a very good position to finish out the last 4 wars. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of Moleman. Is he actually a good champ? Is he better than Elsa Bloodstone? I don't know. He might be. He was pretty good today, so we might give him that. He's certainly better than Shang-Chi, though. I'll say that much. So just in case Naz is watching this. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.